Hi, I'm Kim, and you're watching Kim Wilson TV. My channel is dedicated to helping victims of narcissistic abuse get free and stay free. Here at this channel, we've talked about the very real possibility that narcissists are just evil. I understand that it is of a common belief that narcissism or any of the cluster B conditions is a mental disorder. I have always stood by the work of Dr. Robert Hare from the University of British Columbia, who risked his entire reputation and his career, which was sterling, when he announced that he absolutely is 100% certain that narcissism is not a mental condition but is rather a soul depravity. I think the concept that narcissists, sociopaths, borderline personality disordered individuals, psychopaths suffer from a mental disorder is, well, I think it's a trap for a lot of victims because most people would think that if they suffer from a mental disorder, well, there must be treatment for it because it is a medical condition. And through therapy or medication or something, they can be helped. And I think this, for a lot of people, is a trap. And I think it'll keep a lot of victims in the situation for much longer, believing that they can help them overcome this mental disorder. It's like there are very real differences between dogs and cats, so they are both furry, four-legged domestic pets. I do believe there are very, very real differences that are observable in real time between authentic human beings that possess human qualities, human characteristics and traits versus those who simply do not possess those basic human traits. So what sort of standard character traits can you expect to see from a human being? Humility, patience, kindness, forgiveness. Humans are trustworthy, loyal, and they have integrity. Humans will show signs of bravery, courage, and leadership. And I don't mean leadership through browbeating. I mean humans set an example of leadership by their actions. They lead by example. Humans are able to display a state of contentment, patience, tolerance. Humans can be flexible, agreeable, and show great signs of humor. I think everyone can be defined by its character traits, by the things that make it uniquely itself. For example, you can clearly, by looking, tell the difference between a lamp and a table. You can clearly tell the difference between a cat and a dog. You can clearly tell the difference between an authentic human being that possesses human qualities, human characteristics, and human traits versus an entity, a creature of sorts that doesn't possess any of these. I always assume that Dr. Robert Hare was right because that's what I saw in real time. That was my personal experience. When an entity, be it a love interest, a parent, a kid, a co-worker, the neighbor, lacks basic characteristics, to the extreme where they are completely dishonest, completely inflexible, completely unforgiving, completely unable to act in a way that, well, you come to expect from human beings, you have to ask, what is causing this? And if it is a soul depravity, are they evil? That would be the next most obvious question. Now, I think for a lot of people, the concept that they're evil implies that they are demonically possessed. And if you ever saw the videos I did with Anne Barnhart, you may remember that Anne made a very, very clear distinction between a narcissist and their evil behavior and someone who is demonically possessed. Anne explained that calling a narcissist demonically possessed actually relieves them of the responsibility of their horrible actions, because demonic possession implies that the person is kind of being operated like a marionette puppet, and the things that they're doing are beyond their control because they're under the power or authority of something else. Anne said, absolutely not. They are operating of their own free will. It is a choice to be evil. There is a very clear difference between something that is in itself evil versus something that is being manipulated by evil. Kind of the difference between a demon, which is what I think I was dealing with, and an entity being operated by a demon. They're highly vampiristic, they're soul suckers, they are liars, they are cheaters, they are thieves. They are everything that defies what it means to be a human being. There you are in the kitchen baking a cake, and the evil creature is sitting out on the couch, literally plotting against you, plotting to sabotage you, plotting to harm you. These are not character traits of authentic human beings. So if the thing is evil, if the thing is a demon, I think, wow, extremely empowering for victims. I think more than them, it's us who start to show signs of demonic possession. If there is a demonic entity in your life and you're living on eggshells, every time someone says jump, you're just, how high, how high? And your behaviors are that of, appeasement to the evil entity, and you're doing things that are outside of your nature to please the entity. It is actually us that are showing signs of demonic possession, not them. If we come to understand that the entity is evil, how can that empower us? So much of our time spent with the narcissist involves us acting outside of our normal human nature. It involves us acting in a way that is reflective of the treatment that we're getting from them. This is not us being in our natural state of being. This is us acting in a way that is reflective of the horrible treatment that's being inflicted on us. People become frantic, they become hysterical, they're riddled with anxiety and fear and panic, and they're constantly trying to, well, appease this evil entity. And this is not our normal state of being. This is extremely disempowering, and when you talk to victims of narcissistic abuse, certainly something I experienced myself, I felt completely shattered, completely broken, completely hopeless, like there was no future. Suicidal thoughts start to enter people's minds. People are absolutely incapacitated physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. We are diminished to the point of, lives shattered. This is not our normal state of being. Cease to feel entrepreneurial, creative, inspired. We cease to feel comfortable in our own skin. I truly felt like I had lost all of my personal power. It was the realization that I was dealing with an evil entity that actually gave me my power back, because now I was confronted with two choices. One was to continue allowing an evil entity to manipulate my life, or the other was to let it go and walk away. I understand if the relationship with the narcissist has left you in financial ruin, possibly you're physically ill, which is pretty common when you're with a narcissist. And for some time after getting away from the narcissist, many victims suffer from very real medical conditions. You're possibly emotionally broken. Maybe you've got kids involved in the mix and you feel like you have to stay in touch with them. Possibly you're trying to liquidate businesses or real estate assets, and there are reasons why you'd have to stay in contact with them. I get all that, but the truth is, if there's a will, there's a way. You can get free, you can get out of there. Now, I understand that for a lot of people, options like going to a shelter, moving back in with your parents, possibly rooming with a friend, having to take a second job, maybe these are very challenging possibilities when you're not feeling great. I get all that, but the truth is, this is a real call to action. This falls back on some of the basic human character traits that we all possess: courage, bravery, strength in the face of adversity. I had a peso for every time I met a victim that was living and working out of their car in a desperate attempt to free themselves of this evil. I would be Mexican money rich right now. Of all the victims of narcissistic abuse that I have met, talked to, communicated with, that were actually living and working out of their car, how many are still living and working out of their car? Well, absolutely none. They've all reestablished themselves. They've all got homes now, and they're all doing much, much better. Though leaving the narcissist can appear to be full of uncertainties, the only absolute, the only real certainty is if you stay with this thing, your life is going to steadily get worse. And if your life is absolutely horrible right now and you think, oh my God, it couldn't get worse, oh, it's going to get worse. These are very unprecedented times that we're living in. The last 3 years have absolutely, beyond a question of a doubt, I think, proven to all of us that the world has been flipped upside down. The one place that you have to have stability, security, safety is your home. And if your home is unsafe, well, you got nowhere to turn. So I would absolutely encourage you to muster every bit of strength you have, carefully devise an exit strategy, and get the heck out of there. I know this isn't the answer that a lot of people want to hear. You feel like you have deeply invested in this relationship. Maybe you feel like you'll walk away and absolutely no justice will be served. The narc will just skip away, responsibility free. Well, you know what? That's what it's going to be. The narc is just going to move on and do this to someone else, but this isn't about the new victim. This isn't even about the narc. This is about you, your safety, and your ability to create a new life for yourself, because you can do it. So many victims have done it. Be courageous, my friends. You can get out of this horrible situation. Fear is really just an absence of faith, and your faith can be restored if you allow it to be. I love you guys lots. Thanks for watching this video today. I hope you guys are having a great narc-free day.